Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another live this morning, and hope you're having a great start to your day, and we certainly are. And let's see here if we say hello to a few dear friends. When they come on, you get your notification. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it big time. Let's see if we can say hello here. If they scroll, there you go. Brahim, you're number one on the hit parade this morning, Portland, Oregon. How are you? Andrea from Niagara Falls, good morning. Janice from Brampton, right at the top. Hi, Lucille. And let's see. Rosa in Montreal, and Kevin, right at the top, our mayor. Lily, Ottawa. Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Lorraine, BC. Nativity, good morning. And Maria from Portugal. How are you? Marla, Oregon. Donna, Mary. And saying hi to Dave and Helga. Annie and in Lively. Marlene, good morning to you. Fran, Orangeville. Sandy in Chilliwack, British Columbia. And Judy, New Brunswick. Frida, good morning. Lori in Cambridge. Wendy in Markham. Danny, how are you? Patricia in Pulaski, Tennessee. Cheryl, West Virginia. Rain Cloud, Michigan. And Brahim saying hi to his buddy Kevin. Sue, Bolton. Rosalinda is late today. Was in the clouds, I guess. Sandy, Vancouver, Washington. Sherry is in Mississauga. Patricia from Florida. Denise in Oakville. And Judy, Port Perry, Ontario. Dennis, Norwich. Diane in Peterborough, Ontario. Wanda in Ridgeway, Ontario. Patricia saying hi to everyone. We got a lot of Patricias on with us. Cecilia, how are you? Nativity. And Yvonne in Petawawa. There's our friend Dave in Muskoka. Bonnie in Blenheim. And Elaine, good morning. Sylvia, Mississippi. Paula, Brenda, and Sandra, and Marilyn in Charlottetown. Hi, Bruno. And Donna saying hi to Elaine, and a couple of more. Amber in New Jersey, good morning to you. And Brahim saying hi to all his friends. John in Elgin, Illinois. There he is. Hi, John. Mary, Carol, Moncton, New Brunswick. Vince, Darlene, Milika, and Francis. And did I say hi to you already, Paula? Paula Joe is in Ohio. John, Anna, in Soggy, Manitoba. Well, dry here. Donna, Elaine, we love you guys. Thanks for coming on. Hi, Sandra. Sandra said she'll make it to the top someday. Heather in Miramichi. Marianne in London. Madalena in Laval, Quebec. Bonjour. Denise. There's Gertie. And Janet. Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Nicole, Rose from Brampton, and Vashti. How are you, Vashti, from Windsor? Sharon from Kansas. Guys, Sandy, there you, Sandy. Usually you're at the top in Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Janine, Gail, Mount Pearl. Hi, Trish. And Jeanette, there she is. Good morning, Jeanette. Kathy, I'm going to say hi to Yolande, but I don't see her. David. And Cindy from Saskatchewan. And Wanda from Virginia. Guys, we love you dearly. Thanks for coming on. and Patricia and Nativity. I would say hi. Claire, good morning. Okay, some questions. Let's get back. Try and finish up this morning. Donna, I have a few suspicious looking moles. Does Dr. Martin suggest having them cut out? Nah, I can't tell you that. I really can't. Okay? I can't do that because you're asking me something, Donna, that, unless you were a patient of mine, you showed them to me in my office and I would say, yeah, they're suspicious to me too. Go get them checked. You got to discuss that with your physician or your dermatologist or whatever. You're saying I don't like biopsies, and generally I don't. Okay? I can't tell someone not to get a biopsy. Okay? That's an individual decision you got to make. And if they're suspicious moles and you want to get them, I'd probably encourage you to get them checked. And then you can look at your options after that, for sure. Okay? But it's a difficult question, Donna, because this is educational purposes only, and to give you individual advice, especially when I'm not in practice anymore, I'm hesitant. Cecilia, would metabolic syndrome cause thyroid nodules? Well, it's certainly a factor in there. Okay? It's a factor. Insulin, guys, is a growth hormone. And usually with thyroid nodules, okay? Usually, it's not always the case. Insulin is involved and estrogen is involved. And again, it's estrogen dominant over progesterone. Usually, that's what I found. Estrogen, insulin. Insulin's a growth hormone. It's very, very important to get your insulin down. Okay? Would changing diet, no sugar and bad carbs help shrink them or eliminate them? I've seen it happen. Okay? But again, it's not always the case, but you certainly got to look to that. Okay? Patricia's asking about uric alcohol and uric acid. Well, look, what happens in the liver? Uric acid, everybody has uric acid, okay? Uric acid's not a bad thing until it's elevated, okay? So everybody has uric acid. It's when it's not excreted from your system that it turns out to be negative, okay? i.e. gout. But guys, listen. The reason I like uric acid as a biomarker, because when uric acid is elevated, it is telling me something about metabolic syndrome. Because what happens in the liver, it's not Las Vegas. It doesn't stay in the liver. Alcohol, okay, gets metabolized in the liver like fructose. Very quickly. And when the liver is overwhelmed, you make more uric acid because it's a byproduct of the Krebs cycle. And if your body can't eliminate it, it can elevate your uric acid levels and gout. Not a lot. Most people that have elevated uric acid, by the way, don't even get gout. But if you have gout, and millions of people do, you and alcohol don't get along because of what happens in the liver. Okay? And then it's filtered in the kidneys. It's excreted there. So the liver and kidneys often work together. So alcohol metabolized in the liver, the kidneys have to filter it out. If it can't be done, you can get crystals forming, uric acid crystals. And like I say, kidney stones, 75% of them are oxalates and 25% of them are uric acid stones. So uric acid is normal until it's high. Okay? So did I answer your question, Patricia? Okay. Alcohol is a diuretic. Causes the body to lose water. Yep, you're right. Yep. Big effect. One thing they've shown with uric acid, like water, and this is with the crystals of uric acid, I think it's 3 liters of water a day. And uric acid will get filtered out pretty well. 3 liters. The sweet spot in water is 2 liters, but if you're forming high uric acid levels, 3 liters. Thank you, Patricia. Mike, I would like to ask Dr. Martin if he read a recent online article about fish oil supplements. The article was posted in the Daily Mail. It's entitled, Fish Oil Supplements May Not Boost Brain Health After All. Yeah, I read it. Well, look, I mean, to some extent I agree. Because fish oil, you got good, better, and best. Okay? And so you go and you get what you pay for. Do I like fish oil? Yep. Do I talk about it every day, just about? Yep. But the one that's the most important out of all the fish oils is the DHA in it. High DHA. Why? Because your brain's made up of DHA. I answered the question earlier. About 60% of your brain is DHA fat. Okay? What are they saying in the thing? Researchers concluded that while supplements can reach the brain, omega-3 work better as part of a Mediterranean diet rather than stand alone. Look, Mike, in some way, I agree with that because, look, you can't out-supplement a bad diet. Now, the Mediterranean diet, they usually get that wrong because it's not even a Mediterranean diet. Or they tell you this is a Mediterranean diet when they tell you that very low meat and, maybe some fish and mostly fruits and vegetables. That's not true. The Mediterranean diet is very heavy in meat, very heavy in fish, very heavy in oil, olive oil. Okay? It's a high fat. It's very heavy in butter. It's a high fat diet. It's not a low fat diet. It's a high fat, low carb diet. Okay? And very good diet if you do it the right way. Because a lot of times Mediterranean, they robbed it. Because the vegetarians robbed the Mediterranean diet. Mediterranean diet. They robbed it and said, well, see, but the Mediterranean diet is not vegetarianism. It's not even close. There's high in cheese, high in dairy. So all I'm saying is this, guys, okay? Fish oil, and you know me, I've been consistent. DHA fish oil is the best because your body's made up of that fat. And yeah, with a good diet, I agree with that. I mean, if you just take supplements and you have as much sugar as you feel like, well, come on. You can't out-supplement a bad diet. You guys know me. I'm a food guy first. Am I a supplement guy? You better believe I am. But I'm a food guy. I think you know that. I'm consistent about that. You can't out-supplement a bad diet. So if that's what I read the article. Some of it I disagree with, but the part of having a good diet, even though they skewed the diet, having a good diet, low carb, low sugar, you want to have fruits and vegetables, go for it. Don't live on it. That's all I tell people. Don't live on fruits and vegetables. You weren't meant to live on fruits and vegetables. There's not enough. You don't get DHA in fruits and vegetables. You get DHA in steak and fish. So listen, I read every article I can get my hands on. And when they're sort of negative, they almost want you to not take a fish oil supplement. Well, I think you should, but I don't mean to cancel out you eating a good diet. Okay? Because that's your foundation is that, guys. Okay? You got to eat. You better eat the right way. Okay. Margie, I don't know. Wait a minute. What are your thoughts on supplements for digestion and SIBO? Pepper seed oil, I don't know. It wouldn't be my go-to, okay? Here's me for SIBO. And it ain't SIBO, it's SIFO. Small intestine fungal overgrowth. Okay? You heard that first here. Many years ago, by the way. They call it SIBO, but it's SIFO. And the best thing to do for it, probiotics, okay? Oil of oregano. Our digestive enzyme is made for it's tremendous enzymes. All the broad spectrum lipase, amylase, protease with oil of oregano in the capsule to kill the SIFO. So that's what I would say to you, Margie. Oil of oregano are digestive enzymes. I talk about SIFO all the time. I did the other day again. Cheryl or Cheryl? I think it's Cheryl. Will berberine help lower triglycerides? Nah, maybe. But you're not going to lower triglycerides without lowering the crappy carbs in your diet. So berberine, it's sort of a hot thing. Well, more a year or two ago. Like I said, there's always things that come on the hit parade of supplements. I had a radio show for a many years, and you wouldn't believe. I was in practice, and I would have stuff mailed to me, sent to me, delivered to me. Talk about this. Talk about that. Talk about this on your radio show. Look at this. What do you think of that? And I used to say, well, this is hot right now. Okay? And, but what stands the test of time? Are foundational supplements, okay? Because berberine, look, I'm not against it. You want to take berberine? I got no problem with it, okay? As far as lowering triglycerides, well, DHA is better at lowering your triglycerides than berberine is. And elevating your HDL. But guys, I don't even rely on that. Because there's nothing that will lower your triglycerides than you getting off the crappy carbohydrates. You can take berberine till you're blue in the face. And if you got a bad diet, I'm sorry, you're not fixing your triglycerides. Okay? And again, triglycerides and HDL go together. One goes down, the other goes up. Okay? And so all I'm saying is, you wouldn't believe over the years things that came on the hip parade. And people in the last couple of years, Doc, what about berberine? Berberine, I hear about it. It's online. It's on this, berberine. I don't know. I found things better for blood sugar than berberine. Alpha-lipoic acid, cinnamon, vitamin D. I mean it. But nothing like a diet. Okay? Insulin, diet. Triglycerides, diet. HDL, diet. Yeah, you can supplement. But you can't go around the diet. And that's why, guys, I answer the question like that. Like, what about berberine? Yeah, you know, it's all online. You think I don't see that? I see it 1,000 times. But I've been around a long time. Things get hot, and they're not that hot after that. Okay? You know what's been hot a long time and will stay hot? Vitamin D. You know what will stay hot forever? Probiotics. You know what will stay hot forever? DHA. Because it's the truth. It's 100%. It's not 99, it's 100. Right? B12. Will it stay? Well, it's hot in my mind. The world doesn't even know about B12 anymore. Really, people are ignorant of the importance of B12. But when you go to, there are just certain things that are going to be hot forever. And when I mean hot, I mean they're important. Other stuff, man, maybe. I'll look at it. I look at the research. I want to see it. I don't close my mind to it. I really don't, guys. Okay? But I was in clinical practice. Tony Jr. and I talk about this all the time. We were in practice. In practice, I better get results. I better get results. If you got low B12, and I give you B12, your B12 number better go up. If you have low vitamin D, right? And I give you vitamin D, your numbers better go up. I mean, guys, it's 100% measurable. And this is why I'm so big on probiotics. It's measurable. People have seen it. Millions have. DHA, omega-3. Omega-3, guys, you can actually measure your omega-3. You know that? In Canada, hardly any doctor does it. They should. But they don't even know because they're ignorant. They don't know anything about omega-3. They haven't studied omega-3. But you can measure it. You can get a blood test to measure omega-3. So you don't have to guess. And you could prove it. Omega-3 levels were here, and you'd give them omega-3 DHA, and I always gave DHA. Always. High DHA. And their levels would go up. Yeah. So that's me, guys. So when you ask me a question, and you ask me about a supplement, there's my answer. I compare it. Okay? I compare it. Oil of oregano. Guys, you know how many years I've been working with oil of oregano? 40. You can talk about another antiseptic, antibacterial, antiparasitical, antiviral, nature's antibiotic, and I compare it to oil of oregano. And guess what I like the best? Well, you might have another option, but I had to get clinical results. When I saw fungus coming out the wazoo, Candida albicans, you better get rid of it. If I saw SIBO, you better get rid of it. SIFO. Okay? Anyway. Okay, so that was, it was either Cheryl or, is that an I or an L? No, it's an L. Tam, how are you, Tam? I'm on day 18 of the reset. Now that was at least a week ago, right? Well, maybe not. Her first time. She loves the energy. Finding to get a little bit of dry, itchy eyes. Is that new for me? It's new for her. Is that a coincidence? Yeah, I think it's more of a coincidence. You might be starting allergies. It's allergy season for a lot of people. For example, what's out right now? Ragweed. That can come overnight. Never bothered you before, it's bothering you. I think it's like I can't think of anybody over all the years of giving out the metabolic reset. In my office, on the radio, on this program, tens of thousands, we'd be well over 100,000 people have taken the metabolic reset. I haven't heard of dry eyes so much, okay? Now, are itchy eyes, and you could be starting dry eye. It's possible. Your eyes are watering. Are they itchy? More allergies, I think. Okay? Get on some quercetin and Navitol. That's what I recommend. Or you can use some eye drops. Yeah. Get some natural eye drops. Lori, every night I lie down, my legs are sore. Okay. I put magnesium cream on and fall asleep. Then I wake up. I'm in and out of sleep, difficult sleep because I toss and turn, flip, flop. Is that because your legs are sore? Okay. Or is it restless legs? Give me a little bit more detail, Lori. Okay. They're sore. Magnesium you rub. Are you taking magnesium internally? Just pain in the legs and nowhere else? You could be, look, I'd have to look at blood work. It's possible you're low in iron and achy legs. Is it muscle or is it bone? Just a couple of things that come through my head. Laurie, give me more info. Send it to info@martinclinic.com and I will answer your question if you give me a little bit more detail about that. Okay? And if you're in and out of sleep all the time and it's your legs, restless legs, I think are more. I'd put you on Navitol. I'd have you on vitamin D, but get your levels checked. Okay. Sylvie, what causes fingers on my hand to turn white at the hint of cold? Usually Raynaud's. Okay? Raynaud's is an autoimmune disorder. And it's not always that, but I would, if they're actually turning white, that's called Raynaud's. And that's autoimmune. And you remember now about autoimmune. Usually starts in the gut. Leaky gut. Almost no exceptions to it. Okay. Lori, trigger finger. I can have, well, I talked about that. Trigger finger is Dupuytren's contracture. Leave it to medicine to give it a name like that. Trigger finger, right? And usually, okay, what's happened is you've calcified, you've glycated the tendon in your hand that affects the finger, trigger finger, okay? And like I said, one of the things that causes that, can be repetition, the way you grip. A lot of people get that, but one of the factors is glycation from sugar. Cut the sugar out of your diet. Okay? Mark, did I answer this the other day? I get pain sometimes in the bottom of my right foot. If it makes your second toe or third toe curl down in a weird way, it's usually you're dehydrated. That is a cramp from dehydration. The fact that it happens in your right foot, 20 seconds later will shoot down my left leg in the same way. I would suggest to you, Mark, that you're missing electrolytes, water with electrolytes. And you're getting cramping. That's what I think it is, especially when your toes curl up and all that. And it can be extremely painful. Do you know how many people get out of bed because they get cramps in the middle of the night? And they just about die till they put their foot down on the floor. Okay? Has it ever happened to you? My audience? Yeah, cramping. I'm suggesting, Mark, that it's not. Water with electrolytes. Kathy, is goat's milk good for osteoporosis and osteopenia? Well, I think goat's milk is probably easier to digest than, white Pepsi, which is, store-bought milk. It's probably a little bit easier digestion. Look, I'm a big guy on dairy, okay? I'm not big on milk. I'm big on cream. I'm big on if you have a cow in the backyard. Goat's milk, yeah, I think it's a little easier to digest. Eat cheese. Like if you got osteoporosis, you need vitamin D with K2. You need to eat a lot of eggs, meat, and cheese. That's where you get your calcium with D2. And I like butter. I like, goat's milk. Like, just to go and drink goat's milk. I don't know. You can have it. I'm not going to have a bird if you do. Okay? Is it really that good for osteoporosis? And, magnesium is better than that. Sherry, triple negative breast cancer on your podcast and what field causes. Look, Sherry, this is me and it's my personal opinion. And I think I'm right about it. I think, okay, there's no such thing. I know they give it the name. But in my opinion, there's no such thing as like a triple negative breast cancer. Okay? What do I mean by that? Well, they're saying that when it's triple negative, it's not influenced by estrogen. I disagree with that. My experience, is that there's 2 hormones and really 3 that affect every breast cancer, every one. Insulin, it's a growth hormone. Insulin is a food hormone. And when you eat too many crappy carbs and sugars, you need a lot of insulin. So we talk about that every day. The other one is estrogen. Now, they'll say it's negative, meaning that there are other cancers that are even more receptive to estrogen. But I'm going to tell you, Sherry, this is me, that any cancer, breast cancer, is receptive to estrogen. It's just less receptive than maybe other breast cancers, but it's still very receptive. I tell everyone, including those with triple negative, get your estrogen down. Okay? Down. They won't give you tamoxifen because they think you don't need it. And I don't like tamoxifen as much as I like lowering estrogen and dim it out. You should do it anyway, Sherry. Anyone that's given that diagnosis should still lower their estrogen. lower their insulin. And the third hormone that's involved in cancer is cortisol, the stress hormone in breast cancer, especially. Well documented. So that's me. Diet, dim out your estrogen, dim it, and lower your cortisol. Because cortisol pours gasoline on the fire of cancer. Increase your vitamin D big time. Okay? A. All I got is A. The oil of oregano I found in the U.S. has 93% it's carvacrol. Yeah. Boy, I hate big words. Probably a good one. Okay. If I haven't tested it, I know, our oil of oregano is coming in the USA. Because I always get the best source of it. Okay? PD. Okay. PD is asking if I supplement with a bioidentical progesterone, like I used to have in my practice, will the remainder of the triangular pyramid chain reaction cease to exist? PD, you're making me laugh because you're listening. Okay? Look, I love bioidentical progesterone. I don't like estrogen because you don't need it, in my opinion. I love bioidenticals. Our menopausal formula elevates. What PD is talking about is this pyramid, right? It doesn't fix everything because you can't fix insulin. Insulin's in the middle of the pyramid. You can't fix that with bioidentical progesterone, but it helps. Helps the thyroid. Helps cortisol to some extent. It helps to balance especially your estrogen. But it don't fix everything, okay? But it's good for you, okay? Okay, use them together, yeah, like the other, okay. Carol, would the menopausal supplement be effective to relieve symptoms such as mood changes, fatigue, if you are perimenopausal? It helps. It helps. I'd be on cortisol formula too, though, and maybe thyroid, depending on how you're feeling. You might have to do all three. Debbie, my doctor prescribed Prometrium recently, okay? She's only given me 12 pills to use and then off for 16 days. Postmenopause, can I take it every night? Prometrium, isn't that estrogen? I got to look it up. I can't remember now. Let me look it up because I'm forgetting. I'm having a brain cramp. Let me just see if I can find it fast. Prometrium. I thought that was. Hey, let me see if I can find it fast. Is it estrogen? A prescription. It's a medication identical to progesterone. Oh, it's progesterone. Okay. I couldn't remember. Let me just see. I don't think it's a bioidentical, is it? I'm just trying to remember if it's bioidentical. I don't know why I'm getting such a brain cramp on this morning. I mean, it's not like I haven't heard of Prometrium. My word. It's a synthetic I don't think it's bioidentical. I'm a little leery of that. I love progesterone, guys. I do. Ladies, I love progesterone. Prometrium, it's synthetic, isn't it? I don't think it's a bioidentical. Man, I'm getting a brain cramp today to try and remember. I mean, I heard it only 1 million times in my office. Somebody's saying here, anyway, I got to look it up. I'm looking it up, but I can't get the answer if it's, I think it's synthetic. Yeah, Lucille sent you try it. Anyway, I refer you to our audience to get the right answer, because Dr. Martin is pulling out his senior card today, and I forgot. Okay, guys, we love you dearly. Thanks for all the questions. You guys are wonderful, okay? And we got a great week coming up, okay? So Canada Day is what? Wednesday? I'm on. When's July 4th? Probably on the weekend, isn't it? Anyway, I'm not on weekends anyway, but I'm on Wednesday, okay? So even if the Canadians get a holiday, I'm still on. Okay. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.